He had a very great conversion experience later in life. He had been born to a wealthy family, was injured in battle in Pamplona in a battle with the French, and during his convalescence he started to read books. And there were really only two books available to him in that convalescence. One was A Life of Christ, not a Bible, but almost a biography of Christ. And one was a book about the lives of the saints. And he started to daydream, like all of us daydream, about, great feats of glory that we'll achieve one way or the other. And for us, it might be winning the Academy Award or shooting that final shot in the NBA playoffs. For Ignatius, it had to do with being a hero in battle, being loved by women and adored. And so he started to daydream about those things, and then he would daydream about the lives of the saints. And he noticed that the daydreams he had about the lives of the saints stayed with him longer and were more meaningful to him. And there was this kind of slow metamorphosis, this slow change in him, where he really decided to kind of hand himself over. And so he finished that convalescence, left, and in true chivalric fashion handed over sword and armor and all of that at a statue of Mary, and took the clothes of a beggar and went on really a sojourn that lasted some time after that. But the first thing he realized was that he didn't have much education. Because he had been born to a life of privilege, he hadn't needed to. So Ignatius is really the quintessential adult student and lifelong learner. He went back to school to learn Latin, to get a basic education, and then he tried a couple of different universities before he ended up at the University of Paris, where he gathered a group of college buddies, really, around him, who found him attractive and interesting and charismatic. And they wanted to give themselves to something too. And it's that same thread that began with Ignatius, just kind of a regular guy with some college buddies, that perdures now in our universities when students come together and they have this sense in themselves that they want to give their lives to something, someone bigger than who they are. And so that's the door we walk through with them. And we walk through it in healthcare, we walk through it in business, we walk through it in their lives outside the classroom, but we meet them there and we try to help them open that desire a little wider and broader during their years at Marquette.